So today we will start with logical operation. Logical operation, you will see and or all those things which are used to operate between two logical operators. I'll show you how. So here we will do a multiple assignment. Now what I will do is I'll use an operator an and. So C is greater than A obviously and C is greater than B. As you can see I have given the values here A, B and C as 1, 2, 3. So let me run and show it to you. Just a second, let me write the print statement. You saw the output came because this is getting executed. C is greater than A, obviously because C is 3 here and B is 2 here. That's why the output is getting 2. Suppose you are making it B here and this is C here. You will get a false output because this doesn't satisfy the condition. So we use AND here and we can use AND symbol also to operate two condition at the same time. So let me show you with the AND symbol. If I'm writing C is greater than A, and if I'm using the AND symbol here, and C is greater than B. But while you are using the AND symbol, you need to give brackets like this. This is required while using the AND symbol. You saw the first output, the false is for the first output, and 2 is for the second output. So this is how you can use your AND operator to add two of the operations, either by writing A and D AND or by writing. So when you're writing AND symbol, you have to give brackets there. If you don't give brackets, you get a error. So you're getting it false because you will not get a correct output. So that's why a bracket is needed when you're AND symbol. Now you got a correct output. Now suppose if I want to check or want to verify, I want to compare. Suppose let me take a city here. The city I'm taking. I'll remove this one. The city I'm taking here, Bangalore, and I'm taking gender as M. And suppose if you want to compare, then I'll give city is equal to Bangalore. Gender is equal to F. So let me keep this inside a print statement. You can see the output is getting false here because I've given this F. If I make it M, you will get it true. So this double equal to's are used for comparing. Now you got a true output. So this double equal to are used for comparing. This I'll make it as F. And if you want to show not equal to, then by it is equal to, you can give an exclamatory mark. Now if you run, you can see the output is true now because this symbol exclamatory mark and equal to represent not equal to. Yes. Now we will come to OR operator. OR operator here. So if C, I will give a print statement. So C A is greater or C B is greater. Let me run this and show you. So you're getting a true output. What operator does, OR operator takes one at a time. It will see one condition at a time, and if that condition is getting true executed, then it will give a true statement. In AND, both the conditions should be true, and in OR, one statement or one condition should be true. So that is our difference in OR. So if you can use OR by writing OR here, or by giving a symbol. So if you want to see a symbol, you give a brackets here. This, I mean, one modular symbol you can consider. This is used as a. If I run
Mm.
this, you get a true output here. Okay, so these are logical operators. We will see some examples. Suppose I value I'm taking as 10 here. So I value is 10, and suppose I divide I with 2 and want to see the remainder, which is equals to 0. Let me keep this inside a print statement, or let me give this as x. X is equals to this, and print x. So you saw this is true now, because 10 divides by 2 and the remainder is obviously 0. If suppose I make it 11, you will get a false output here. So this symbol we have seen last time, right? I'm giving a condition here. That's why it is saying here this is used as a comparator. It's used for comparing. If you don't, so it will directly give it here. Yes. So I'm comparing it with 0. Comparing the values, you will get a Boolean output. Either it is a 2 because you will have only 2 outputs, either true or false. When we were doing C is greater than A or C is greater than B using and or, there also we are comparing. If and else comes under conditional statement. That also we will see. Make statements to verify, to see the condition. There we use if and else statements. We'll come to that part. This is just the basics of the law. If I told you about the not equal to also, exclamation mark will be used for not equal to. Then this, you'll get a true output. Right? About a logical operation. Now we will see some of part of the data structures. What type of data structures you have inside Python. So first of all, we will see tuple here, which is denoted by round brackets. So, tuple is a collection ordered and unchangeable. So, tuple is it is ordered and unchangeable. I'll give an example.
Okay.
So suppose I'm creating a variable name here, and name I'm inserting in the round bracket bread and food. Okay. So if I print this statement and print the type of a statement, first of all name. So if you run this, you can see the class tuple is coming now. Right? You can print the statement in this way, print name, and you can write it by using the last name and the first name. So last name I will use curly brackets dot format name 1. So I've showed you dot format is also used to print a statement. Right? So you can see this is a class tuple, and this is the print statement which I gave, and this is the last name, and this is the first name. I'm giving index from the tuple. So here I'm printing name as 0, as the index starts from 0 everywhere inside the programming language. Most of the things I mean 0 first tuple value it is taking, and 1 means the second index value it is taking. So this is a basic tuple, how the tuple is constructed. Let me give another example. Suppose I'm taking A. So A is equals to 1, 2, 3, 2, 5. Let me print A. Let me print type of A. So you can see this is a class tuple. You can use integer values also. Last time we used string values. Now you can use, I've shown you how to use the integer value. So you don't have to specify any data type, what data type you're using. Python will take the data type by itself. Suppose I create another variable, and you'll see some data slicing here. So I'm taking fruits, and in fruits, I'm inserting some fruit name. I'm taking orange, I'm taking apple, I'm taking cherry. Again, I'm taking apple, then grapes. And suppose if you want to get the printout, all the values, I'm writing -1. All the values -1. Closing my round brackets. If I run this program, this is actually a reverse format of this. Suppose if you want to print all the values from 2 to all the values. So let me run and show it to you. So you're getting 0, 1, 2. 2 is a cherry, and cherry, apple, grapes you're getting all the output. So data slicing we have seen last time also, but still I will see some examples here. And let me give another example. Fruits -3 to 1. Let me see what this runs. So you can see you are getting cherry, apple, grapes. Again, doing the same thing. Last -3 it will take the value and it will print all the values. That is what colon means, right? Let me print fruits. Let me give -3. -3 to 1 I'm taking. So this is also the same thing. Cherry, apple, grapes. Or you, if you want, you can write fruits -3 colon. Yes. This will also give the same output. Okay, so these are some of the examples you can use data slicing in Drupal. Colon means all the values. So you're giving a starting value 2, and you're specifying colon means print all the values. -3 column, -3 always minus takes from the last. -3 is cherry here. -3 cherry, apple, and grape. This output was that particular output. -3 I told you it will take an index from the back. -1 is grapes, -2 is apple, -3 is cherry. So from cherry you're giving colon. So from cherry it will take all the values. Colon means all the values. So cherry, apple, grape. Double colon means also the same. Double colon here it is giving all the values from the backward one. So you click. If you can see cherry, apple, grape. So it is taking from -3 all the values 1. Either you can specify 1, or if you do not want to specify, you can't. Yeah, that's what I'm telling. 1 is not necessary to write, because here in this statement specifying 1. 1 is the last statement. So if you're giving 1, anyhow the last statement will get printed out. If you're giving 2 here, then here you. Cherry and grapes are only coming here. So let me create a variable age here, and age I'll give some value, that is 40, I'll give 8, I'll give 35, I'll give 5. So let me print age. Let me print type of age. So this is a class tuple, and you got the tuple print out also. Now suppose if you want to change the order in a tuple, you want to make it a ascending order. So what you can do, print statement, and you can specify the name, and you can write sorted of age. So now if you run, you can see you are getting this output in ascending order. Whenever you are doing data slicing, you have to use square brackets. Last time also, when I was writing, I wrote fruits inside round brackets, but whenever I was writing for the data slicing or for the reverse order, I was writing inside name and giving a square bracket. Inside square bracket, I was specifying the index. So that format, square bracket is actually known for the list, and you use it for the tuple. I wrote, if I give the same values again, these were my output, right? You saw? You're getting all the outputs here. You'll get the same output. Right? Because you're doing so data slicing will be same in tuple and list, and you can consider sets in dictionary. So this is a tuple class. If I see the type here. You saw a class tuple is coming here. Yes. So yeah, this is how you can use sorted to write it in a ascending order. And suppose if you want to write it in a descending order, you can give a print statement sorted, and in sorted you will give age, and after writing age you will give reverse is equals to 2 here. So if you give reverse is equals to 2 here, you will get it in descending order. And again, if you want, I will show you some data slicing. I'm picking age here, and if I want the first value, so the first value, yeah, sorry, 0, 1 index. This is 1 index, right? So this is the second value. So second value is 8, obviously. And if I want to see all the values from age, 0 to all, you can get all the values there. 48,
Okay.
35, 5. And print age and colon 2 minus 1. So this will be my minus 1 will be all the values excluding the last value. So this is all about the tuple. And suppose if you want to change, if you want to delete this age column or delete something from age, so delete, and if you're writing age and one index you want to delete here, so if you run this, you will get an error because tuple object doesn't support item deletion. I told you tuple you can't change, it's unchangeable. It is ordered and unchangeable. You can't change inside. If you want to add also, if you want to remove also, you can't do inside tuple. If you want to add or if you want to remove anything from the tuple, it's not possible. You do that by converting a tuple into a list and then adding a value, converting it into a tuple. That's how you can do that. But directly in tuple, you can't remove anything. So that is unchangeable. That is a limitation in tuple we get. Okay, so now we will see what is a list. So list is denoted by square brackets. So lists are denoted by square brackets. I was giving the fruit's name last time. I'll write the same fruit name here. It is apple, banana, orange, and grape. And let me print fruits. Let me print type of fruit. So this is a class list. Okay, so you can see, you can access the same type like fruit, and I give an index value. So I'll give -2 here. You can see the -2 is orange here, so that's why you're getting the orange out of it. You can give range here, so 2 to 5 suppose you want 0, 1, 2, 3. So 2 to 5 you won't get. I'll take 1 to 2. Yes, banana it is 0, 1, 2. So 2 you won't get I mean the 2 output here, as we have discussed. Whenever you are specifying a range here, the last will be excluded. It won't be included in the. You are specifying the range here. This is how you specify it. So you are taking from one index. I want all the values. So the first value which starts from 0. So 0 is apple. First is banana, and the second one is orange here, right? So whenever you are specifying the second one, the last specifying index, this index won't be included. That's why orange is not. And if suppose you want 2, 3, if I run this again, now orange will come. The third index will not be specified here. Yes. And suppose you want to change the value, so you can give fruit and the square bracket, and the first I want to change it to black currant. Let me and give the print statement of fruits again. So you can see apple and banana changed to black currant now. So this is how you can change a value, you can add a value, and if you want to add a value, you can add by adding a value. We use append here. So if you want to add orange here, orange we don't have, orange we have. And suppose if you want to add kiwi here, and let me give the print statement again. So you saw kiwi got added. So we use append to add, and if you want to insert it in one particular index, you want to specify index value to, so we use insert here. So in insert, you need to specify the index. So I want to insert in the first index, and I want to insert a value mango. So you can see mango got inserted in my first index. And if you want to remove anything, suppose I want to remove black currant. So I'll write fruits dot remove. In the round bracket, I will write black currant. Now again, we'll see a print statement. So you saw black currant got removed from the list. We use pop also to remove. Pop removes my last item. Fruits dot pop round bracket. Okay, and we use delete function also here. Delete what we were seeing in tuple, delete and fruit. And if you want to specify something, suppose I want apple to be removed, that is a 0th index. And again, I will give the printout here. Apple got deleted. So you delete, and if you want to clear, if you want to remove all the items from the list, you can write root dot clear. Remove all the items. See, the list is empty now. And if suppose I don't give an index value, I run it again, you'll get error because that complete list got deleted. Now you can see name fruits is not defined. If you want to delete whatever is there in that particular variable, and suppose if you add to a list, I'll give you an example of adding to list. So this is my list 1 with string values, and this is my list 2 with integer values, and list 3 I'm adding list 1 and list 2. I'm printing the list 3 values. So both the lists got added in one. If you do this inside a tuple, it won't get the result. You will get an error. I made this. Let me run the program now. People also getting added. Yeah, this plus operator adds all the values, whatever is there in those. Yes, two tuples at the same time you can add in this way, and it doesn't specify any data type. If it's a different data type also you can add. Yes, and suppose there is a tuple. I'm meeting a tuple with some values. 1, 2, 3, tuple. So if you run this, you can see this is a tuple. And suppose if you want to add or append a value, so what I'll do, append by 6. And if you print the statement again, you will get an error. You saw tuple object has no attribute append. But to add a value, what you can do, you can convert it into a list. So what I will do, I will write list here, and then again, while printing, I'll write tuple of C. So what I did here, there was a tuple, and I converted this tuple into, and then I added a value in the, and then I again converted into a. That's how you can add a value inside a tuple. You need to convert it into a list first. Okay, so let's go to another data structure, which is sets. Set is denoted by curly brackets. Okay, and set is a collection which is unordered and unindexed. So set is a collection which is unordered and unindexed, that are known as sets. Suppose I use the same set, roots here, roots, and I'm inserting all the values in a curly bracket. You can see these are used as a curly bracket here. And if I want to print, I will print roots, I write print type of roots, and you can see the class is set now. Okay, so these are sets are made. So these are unordered and unindexed. Why unordered and unindexed? I will show you. If I want to add something here, suppose roots dot add views, and I'm adding mango here, and let me print fruits again. So mango got added in the beginning. It got added in the beginning. Why? Because there is no order here. It can add anywhere in the set. So if I want to remove some mango only from here, I'll use fruit dot remove mango. So it's not there. Mango got removed. Dot remove is used to remove any specific value. I don't think clear method is there. I'll print fruit. PyCharm, the advantage of using PyCharm is you get option here. Suppose I'm writing clear here. See, you're getting this option, right? Clear. It's there, I think. It's there. Inside set. Clear this is right. Print yes. Set is empty now. There is more things, and if you want to update your values, so you can add update also. Just a second. There are two grapes. I will remove one grape. So fruit dot update, we use to update it with a list. I'm giving a, and I'm adding some values. We don't have orange, I will add orange here. We don't have mango, so we will add mango here. No, we don't have apple, banana. We'll add kiwi here. So all the values got added. You can see. So we use update function also to add. If you have more than one element to add, then we use update. And suppose if you want to get the length, we got so many elements here. If you want to see how much element you have, so we will write len out of the name. Okay. You'll get the number of outputs here. There are 7 elements in the set. For remove, we can use discard also. Discard is also used to remove here. And I'll show you discard also. Discard, I'll do grapes. So you saw grapes got removed. You have cherry, apple, banana, mango, kiwi, or orange. Yes, discard is to remove. Both are same. Clear is also there. Seen. Delete is also there. We have seen last time. Yeah, delete is there. Delete is there. You can see. Pop is also there. The list we use. We saw length also. Suppose you have two sets. I'll remove this thing. And suppose you want to run a loop in this sets. So you can run loop also. And let for I in fruits and do column, and I write print I. You get all the elements, and you can iterate all the elements one by one. So that's why you're getting the output one in the single statement. And suppose if you have two sets. Set 1 I have ABC, set 2 you have 1, 2, 3. and you have to add two set at the same time. So we use union function here. Set 1 dot union set 2 in the brackets and print set 3. If you run this, you will get all the outputs in a single set. Okay, so this was all about your sets. Now we will see a little bit about dictionaries also. So the difference between dictionaries and sets is not is also denoted by your curly brackets, and its dictionary is a collection which is unordered, changeable, and indexed. My set was not indexed, but here in dictionary you get it indexed. So that is the difference between dictionary and sets. Let me give you an example. Suppose I have a variable student. So students, you have in a curly bracket a name ID with 26-year-old, and you have Maria, which is 23 years old, and this is Jack, who is 28 years old. So if you print student, print type of student, and if you run the program, you can see the class is dictionary now. Yes. Why dictionary it is showing? Because you are specifying the index value here. This is the index you are giving. The keys you are giving. This ID is a key here, and 26 is the value here. This Maria is the key here, and 23 is the value here. And Jack here, and 28 is the value here. Dictionary, you are specifying an index here. So when you specify an index in your set, then it and you can get a particular output also. Suppose you want to get the age of Jack. So you can write print statement. You can write students, and in the square bracket you can write Jack here. So if you run this program, you'll get the output 28. Jack is 28-year-old. Okay, and yes, if you want to see the key value, all the key value from the student, so we write student, keys, and round bracket. If I run this, you'll get all the key values that are Eddie, Maria, and Jack. And suppose you want all the values only from the dictionary, so instead of keys, you will write values. You get all the values here. That are 26, 23, 28. Okay, and if suppose you want all the items from this, all the keys, all the values, and all the items. So items will print all the values here. You can do one-way drill, two-way drill, two level of drill down. Two level of drill down means dictionary inside a dictionary, dictionary inside a dictionary. Those are known as one level, two level drill down dictionary. So this particular dictionary is known as a one-way drill down. It gives a print out. So this is known as one-way drill down. If I run this program, you can see you're getting this out, right? You have a dictionary with the name of elements. You have hydrogen as 1, helium as 2, carbon as 6, and you're printing elements and you're specifying only carbon here. So you're getting the value for the key value of carbon, that is 6. So this is one level of drill down, and suppose we will see a two level of drill down now. So this is a two level of drill down. So two level of drill down in the sense you have dictionary inside a dictionary. That is hydrogen I have taken, and inside hydrogen I have given I'm specifying a number, that is 1, weight here, and symbol H. Then I'm specifying number, weight, and symbol here. I want to get the printout of elements with helium. So you got the output here, the helium and the symbol here. So this is a two level of drill down. So all this you can do inside a dictionary.